Hello and welcome to the Minimum Competence episode for Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. I'm your host for today, Andrew Leahy, a tax and technology attorney from New Jersey. A very happy 10-year anniversary to my co-host, Gina Leahy, who will be returning and blessing our ears with her melodious news later this week. But in today's episode, you'll have to make do with me as we talk about personnel turnover at the FTC, a grilling at the FCC, the use of AI in patent applications, and the modernization of the IRS. Let's start our engines and race towards today's legal news. Republican FTC official Christine Wilson has announced her resignation from the agency, citing her opposition to the progressive FTC chair Lina Khan's agenda. Wilson has been criticizing Khan's efforts to enforce antitrust laws and her defiance of legal precedent. Wilson's departure means the FTC will be without a GOP leader. However, there are efforts to nominate a new Republican to sit on the commission soon. Khan and the two Democratic commissioners wished Wilson well in her next endeavor while acknowledging they often disagreed with her. Khan has been the subject of criticism from free market and libertarian conservatives since her appointment as the chair in 2021. Gigi Sohn, Joe Biden's nominee for the FCC, is at the center of a debate over broadband equity in the U.S. The agency responsible for regulating the country's communication systems is operating without a Democratic majority since Biden took office, meaning that work on rules to prevent digital discrimination is in danger of stalling. Sohn is seen as critical to these rules, which aim to provide equal access to broadband service to all Americans. Some groups say a Democratic majority is necessary to set regulations on companies to provide more incentives to service neglected areas of the country. Sohn's confirmation has been delayed by Republicans and opponents who claim she does not have the votes to clear the Senate. Sohn is the founder and former CEO of Public Knowledge, a group that advocates for broadband access, among other internet issues. Sohn defended her work, stating that she had dedicated her entire career to ensuring that everyone, regardless of income level, race, gender, sexual orientation, or where they live, has access to affordable and robust communication networks. Outside groups are concerned that the FCC will be unable to do anything about issues that the groups care about without a Democratic majority. The lack of a Hispanic fifth commissioner is another concern raised by some Hispanic groups who argue that Hispanic representation on the commission is crucial for advancing issues relevant to the community. The White House says Sohn has strong support from communities of color and Latino leaders and that they take representation seriously, but there are concerns that she is actually being nominated as the future chair of the commission. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is seeking input on whether patent protection should be extended to inventions created by humans with the assistance of artificial intelligence. Current U.S. law states that inventors and authors must be human, and the Federal Circuit upheld this position last year when it ruled that computer scientist Stephen Toller's AI system Dabus could not be granted a patent. Although the PTO may not have the authority to make wholesale changes to its inventorship policy, lawyers believe it could make substantive changes such as permitting the use of AI as a tool for applications listing human inventors. The PTO is collecting data and facts on the existing patent system and attempting to foster and promote AI-enabled innovation. The lack of clarity on whether applications involving AI can be patented has led some inventors to omit their use of the technology when they file patent applications. The PTO could adopt a policy to permit applications to proceed without naming AI, but this could have broader implications. Some experts predict that the one-size-fits-all patent system may need to be rethought. Daniel Werfel, President Biden's nominee to lead the Internal Revenue Service, will face tough questioning from lawmakers at his confirmation hearing before the Senate Finance Committee today. The confirmation hearing comes at a crucial moment for the beleaguered agency, which is embarking on an $80 billion modernization project that newly empowered Republicans are scrutinizing. Republicans are expected to grill Mr. Werfel about the agency's spending plans, recent leaks of taxpayer information, and the Biden administration's pledge that audit rates will not rise for households that earn less than $400,000. If confirmed, Mr. Werfel will step into one of the most perilous jobs in Washington. The IRS has been at the center of some of the most fraught political battles for years, with Republicans making it their mission to starve an agency they have accused of political bias, and Democrats relying on it to collect tax revenue to fund their legislative priorities. The IRS will detail its plans for deploying the $80 billion this month, although it remains unclear whether that plan will be released publicly. President Biden has vowed to veto any legislation that would scale back most of the funding allocated to the IRS. Republicans on the Finance Committee falsely warned that the funding would be used to hire 87,000 agents who would investigate small businesses in the middle class, while the hires will actually fill customer service and technology support roles and replace staff who are expected to retire over the next decade. Thank you so much for listening to Minimum Competence, your daily news podcast for lawyers. If you're looking for more than minimum competence, links to further reading on all the topics touched on today are in the show notes. If you have any questions or story suggestions, find us on Mastodon on the esq.social instance. We also have a link aggregator in the Fediverse at links.esq.social, where some of our stories will be sourced from, so feel free to sign up and submit there. Minimum Competence is part of the ESQcast network of podcasts and streams on esqstream.com. Catch you back here tomorrow, and until then, believe half of what you see and none of your minimum competence.